Okay, I'm going to turn it on now and see what it does.
Alrighty. Hello, welcome to the Divine Fellowship. My name is Janice Lynch, and today we're going to talk a little bit about our psychic on-off switch. Sometimes those of us that are very spiritual get overloaded by external input, and so we tend to shut down, or we tend to feel overloaded. If you've ever gone to a big box store, a department store, a mall or something, and walk out feeling overwhelmed, you may have your psychic awareness on, and that's fine, but sometimes that's overwhelming. We get too much input, too much information from just general energy of everybody that we walk by. So I want to share with you a technique that will help you have more power and control over it, that can give you the power to turn it on, to turn it off, to access it when you want to. So you're not awakened in the middle of the night, you're not just spur of the moment things happening, so that you have power and control over that. That's your right and your destiny. What happens is that those of us that are spiritual have a compassionate heart, and we want to help. We want to be of service. Unfortunately, that desire overrides the shut-off valve. And so the shut-off valve kind of goes inactive, or disabled, until we get to a point where, that's it, I'm not doing it anymore, and we just shut down. So how many people in this room have experienced either a shutdown or an overload? Okay, all right. So you know what I'm talking about here. To know that you have the right to access this information, it's your spiritual right. It's a gift. And it's not like, oh, well, this person's given the gift, but you're not. We all have the gift. You go to other cultures in other parts of the world, and they utilize their intuition, their intuitive senses all the time. And that's not considered abnormal. It's normal. We have just been in our culture trained that no such thing. You can't see that stuff. So if you think you're seeing things, ooh, let's get you some medication or some counseling or something. I'm here to tell you that you're perfectly normal. We're the new normal. And this is the way we're meant to be, is open, aware, and receptive. It's when we get overloaded that we tend to shut it off and say, oh, I just don't want to hear anymore, whatever. Now, with that said, some of you may hear things, some of you may see things, some of you may feel things physically, tangibly, and some people may feel things emotionally, feel feelings. And some of you may get it all. So the key today is for help us to learn how to turn it all on and turn it all off, or tune into one or tune into another. Does that make sense to you? So if you're hearing things but don't see things yet, you can. You can. If you're seeing things but can't hear anything yet, you can. You will. It's a matter of each of us is different, and the energetic structure, the energetic construct that we're born with may be different for us than it is for somebody else. And so what is your strong suit may not be my strong suit. But eventually, if I can do it, you can do it. Because I was an unbeliever. I didn't think there wasn't this psychic stuff. No. So if I can tap into that and communicate and experience things that there's no way I would know that came from a different source, then you can too. Then you can too. And I think it's wonderful. So let's look at a method to do this. Now, there's no one way, there's no right or wrong, there's no my way works but your way doesn't. I'm just going to show you one way. And it seems to work really well for me, and I hope it will work for you. It's based on a vision that I had years ago. I was shown that there were these crystalline structures within our physical body and within our energy field. I I had seen crystalline structures before when I was doing healings, and often I would remove them because they were blocked energy. But these were beautiful and clear, and if they weren't beautiful and clear and I removed them, beautiful clear ones took their place because they're here to give us like a circuit breaker. They're an energetic circuitry, and they help us move our energy more clearly and help us function with our energy more clearly. What happens here is this. If I have a trauma in my life, it's like recently I had a couple of pets pass away, and we'd had them for years, and it was very devastating. Crystals that support the emotions can turn to toast, and we can clear them out and get new crystals for that. So I don't have to be devastated. I can keep myself functioning. So if you have someone that gets in your face, or somebody yells at work, or you get in a car wreck, whatever, you don't have to suffer that hit. You don't have to be emotionally devastated. You can clear that stuff out and move on. Those of us that are spiritual often are so sensitive that little things can just bam and knock us flat. So if we have tools that will help us move past that, it's really, really powerful. The visions that came to me came over a 10-year period. And the system that I'm going to show you today is one of 13 that were among the 13 that were revealed to me. There may be more. I don't know. There might be. You might have different ones than I am perceiving. I want to share with you what came to me because these particular ones help you tune in and tune out. All right? So I've given you a handout, and I think we can post a handout on the website with this. Can we get handouts if I...
Yeah, we can.
Okay. So you can get a handout. There are these energetic structures, these energetic crystalline structures are in our aura that are the primary ones that help this aspect of tuning in and tuning out. Every person that I've seen that is awakened by spirits in the middle of the night, or can't walk through a store without seeing dead people and all that stuff, then their crystal that is on their left side, that one on your left, is either missing, tumbling, or broken. So I want you to get into your space and just look. You can see the little, on the handout here, the crystal that we're looking at. These are the two that are out here on your side. I want you to look at your left one. This one is the one that allows you to connect in with the other side. And perceive that. See if for you it's balanced and clear. If you need to put your arm out, try not to hit your neighbor, but that's okay. See what that feels like for you. If it's missing, know that you have a right to receive this. It's like a door. I don't care how safe your neighborhood is. You lock your door at night, don't you? So we need to lock the door of our spirit, lock the door of our energy field too. Keep it safe. So what you'll experience is a double pointed crystal, tip at each end, point at each end. It's usually about this big, and it'll just float out here. So we'll see if you can experience that. If it's not there, I'll lead you through a process to receive it. If it is there but it's tumbling in space, get a hold of it and see if you can straighten it out. If it's up and upright, points going up, points going down, that's the way it needs to be. If it's tilted or this way, your door is wide open. So it needs to be straight up and down. Check and see if it's clear. If it's not clear, it could be colored, but it needs to be unbroken and without dark streaks in it. So how are you perceiving? Anybody have trouble perceiving theirs? Okay. You don't have one.
That's fine.
You don't have one. You don't have one. Okay. You see yours. Yours is tumbling. Can you straighten it out? Just put your hand out there and see if you can straighten it out. That feels better to me, but I think you could replace that. I'll show you, walk you through the process to replace it.
I think we both raised our hands.
Yeah, I think, yeah, yours looks like it's there, but it's not functioning. I think it's burnt out. It's like a burnout light bulb. And yours feels like a burnout light bulb as well. Is that how you, does it feel like that to you? Okay. So here's what you do. Okay, go ahead.
Oh,
Question.
I didn't.
Oh, okay. Yours is good.
Yes.
Yours too?
Yes, that does.
It's not a test. Yeah, yours is like a burnout light bulb as well. It's there, but and yours is kind of like flickering. You know how a fluorescent light will flicker? It's flickering. So it works sometimes, sometimes it doesn't. Does that make sense to you?
How do we lose them completely?
How do we regain?
You can lose them completely if you get overloaded too much, too often, over a long period of time. Could have happened when you were a child. Just got overloaded and, just turned to dust.
I
Then,
think we put them back in last time we did this exercise in church, so I've been overloaded.
yeah. So, and this may be something that you might want to just check periodically. Okay? So here's how to replace or change your aura crystal. However you perceive it or don't, know that if you imagine it, it's true. It's like the shamans of ancient times used to imagine rain, and then it would rain. So what you imagine has an effect in this physical plane, in this physical world. So imagine your crystalline structure. If it's all fine, leave it alone. If it's not as bright as you would like it to be, or if it looks fractured or kind of cruddy or gunked up, just reach out and get a hold of it, shake it loose, and release it, thanking it for its highest, for its service, because it's kept you alive. And I think if you've had trauma in your life, you probably will recognize, oh boy, what I went through might have killed somebody else. Then ask to be gifted with a new crystalline structure that will support you and give you clarity and access when you want it. And you will receive that gift. You'll actually feel a crystal laid in your hand. And then just insert it in your energy field. And let it go. And how does that feel? Feel pretty good?
Do I have to receive it, or can I just imagine it there?
Whatever works for you. She asked, can I imagine it, or do I have to ask for it? Can I just imagine it there? Whatever works for you. Now the crystal on the other side, the other way. This is to give you access to angelic presences. It also does other things, but we're not going to focus on all the other things that it does. Just this is mostly the angelic realm. So the left is the other side, and the right is the angelic realm.
And what was the left?
The other side.
Oh.
Makes sense.
Well, that stinks.
Oh, other side.
It didn't.
Those that have crossed over.
Okay.
Those that haven't. Those that are no longer physical beings on this physical plane.
Got it.
But the right one, having to do with the angelic realms, this is that higher awareness, that higher spiritual connection. This gives you the ability to access Akashic records, gives you the ability to access the consciousness of all it is. So this is a good one to have. So check this one out. It also is best upright. Check and see if it's tilted or tumbling in space. Make sure it's upright. It can be colored, but have it clear. You're frowning. Can't perceive yours?
Yeah.
It's there, but I think You could use an upgrade. You could use an upgrade. You could use an upgrade. It's there, but again, it's like the other one, it's flickering off and on. So sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So that's going to be a little frustrating because you'll say, okay, I'm going to open to, and give me a message about, and then when you want it, it's not there. And when you don't want it, you get all these insights. But okay, now what do I do with that? Make sense? Okay.
I feel like mine is there.
Uh-huh. I'm not seeing any problem with it. Does it feel good to you?
A little cloudy.
A little cloudy? I'd replace it then. When in doubt, replace it. You can't hurt yourself by replacing it. All you're going to do is just give yourself an upgrade.
And replace it the same way?
Same way.
Is mine here?
Yes, yours is there, but I would upgrade it. Looks kind of heavy. Looks kind of dense. Like it's taken a lot of paint.
I can't see mine.
You can't see yours? No, I don't think it's there. I would ask for a new one. Now, on yours, Joe, I don't know how to say this, so I'm just going to say it. Have you seen death?
Yes.
Okay, I think that toasted it. So there's some residue there that I think if it were me, I would reach out and sweep that away and clear that out,
Okay.
and then ask for a new one to be gifted to you. Okay, and it probably wasn't pretty.
Never is.
Never is. Well, some can be a terrible relief, and some are
Yeah.
just horrible. So, but I think that would
Sweep it away.
sweep it away, and then ask for a new crystal instructor that will support you in communicating with angelic presences. Okay? Nobody else?
It to me, it feels like a wasteland.
Yeah, it's not good. I'd ask for a new one. But I feel like you've got some gunky stuff there too. So sweep that out and replace that.
Can I block?
Yours doesn't feel blocked, it feels disconnected. So, let me ask how you could best activate that. Tap your heart space and then tap the crystal. There you go. Did you feel it?
Yeah, like a surge of energy.
Yeah. It was like there's a part of you that didn't think you had access.
Yeah.
Now you do. Okay. Everybody else? Mm-hmm.
Where do you go? Cloudy kind of feeling?
Cloudy kind of feeling. Yeah, I think it's,
Doesn't feel clear.
no. What it looks like, it's like it's exploded.
What do you?
So it feels to me like your understanding of the angelic presences was one thing, and then you learned what they really are, and your brain went, and so this crystal just went. And so
Okay.
sweep that out and ask for a new crystal.
Okay.
So you're ready for that new energy?
I did a replacement on all of them when you told me the first one was missing, did it take?
Let me check on that in a minute. I'm kind of in one spot here.
Do you see?
Let me check on you in a minute. I'm still someplace else.
What if I struggle with the concept of angels to begin with?
Well, that would certainly make it a little difficult. How do you perceive this crystal?
Like that?
Okay. To me, it looks like it could go a little more upright.
Okay.
It looks like it's tilted back.
Well, I just put it in because I
Okay.
didn't think I had one.
Okay, so I'd straighten it out just a bit. Okay. Yeah.
I feel like I have nothing here, but there's something here. I'm not sure it's completely lined up right on the right side.
Okay, so tap your heart space. And then tap the crystal. Did you ask for a replacement on this side?
I haven't asked for that yet.
Ask for that.
Asked for that. Okay.
Yeah. So almost you need this one first.
That recharges?
Yes. Well, if you have disconnected from the talent and ability of being able to communicate with angels, you might want to, that might need reactivation. It doesn't normally need that at all.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Feel better?
Yeah.
Love it. Love it. All right, so these will give you access to spirit communication. Now I want to give you 2 other crystals here to assist you. And I want to tell you some of the other crystals that are in the system because they kind of all work together. The next 2 crystals come in a set, and they're really important for you to have them. Yes, ma'am?
Oh, I was going like that because the other ones are here, right?
No.
Oh.
The 2 that I want you to focus on now is the one that's beneath your feet and the one that's above your head. They both will reside at the edge of your aura, which is about an arm's length up. So see how those are doing. They're a little bit bigger than the ones elsewhere. And the one beneath your feet will help you get grounded, will help you stay present, will keep you from traveling too far spiritually when you go asking for information. The one above you takes that energy that you have a right to access and amplifies it and sends it out to these 2 crystals and kind of gives you a cone of energy that surrounds your aura and feeds back into you, this grounding crystal, back up through your body. So when the system is lit, nothing but light can be accessed by you. Okay? You might be able to communicate with beings that haven't crossed over yet, blah, 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 but nothing can invade your presence. Make sense? So this is a real wonderful safety valve. Now the one beneath your feet, again, you're going to need to use your imagination because we can't reach beneath us, but just reach down and pick it up with your mind's eye and release it. Thank it for its service. And ask to be gifted one that will help you stay grounded and connected. And then when you get it, just know that it automatically places itself where it needs to be. Now, you'll need a grounding crystal, this root crystal. You'll need this if you find yourself spacey. Or you find yourself just not really, can't get your feet underneath you. Does that make sense? So if you're finding that you're going, oh gosh, what was I doing? I have no idea what I'm doing. Check this root crystal, because you may have taken a hit, or somebody else may be in a space that your energy system in this crystallized structure took the hit for you and could knock you down a bit. So make sure that this is locked and loaded in its correct place. Do the same thing with the halo energy.
So what do you do with the feet again?
Just reach, imagine that you can reach down below the earth and pull that up and release it. You can do it sitting, it's okay. Thank it for its service, because it's kept you alive, it's kept you sane, it's kept you healthy. If we didn't have these things, then we would have been burnt out. It's burning. It get warm in here. We get the energy moving and it gets warm in here. Yes, ma'am.
You said all of these were double terminated? Double
Yes.
pointed? Okay, so if mine's not on the bottom, it's broken.
Yeah.
So it's-
Yes, ma'am. If it's broken, if you don't have the double terminated.
So you could just land your crystals.
Yes.
What happens if the one I asked for and received is round?
Then that must be what is right for you right now. No, I just don't question that stuff. You know, God knows better than I do, so I just let it be what it is. Okay?
So
Yes, ma'am.
you see?
Well, let's get through the rest of them.
Okay, I'll come up for a chat later.
All right, yes.
Thank you.
Now, the core crystal is a crystal that resides in the core of your body, halfway between your breastbone and your backbone. And this is how, this governs your whole body, and that's a whole other system that you might want to just check and see how it's doing for you. If you're just burnt out and can't function, you might need to replace that one as well. This one, you just shake it loose, pull it out, and release it again, asking for a new one, insert it from the bottom in, and you'll feel it go click. It clicks in. This aligns you to your truth. It doesn't align you to my truth. It aligns you to your truth. And this supports you in your journey, in your spiritual journey. And I could do a whole nother workshop just on this particular crystal, and I may do that before long. There's another crystal that sits right out from your throat chakra, right about here. This is your master crystal. This one is the one that if you are totally toast, this one's going to go.
Totally what?
Toast. If you're wiped out, check this one. This is also your energetic bug zapper. So if somebody comes to you and says, "You just did a terrible job with that," this hits that crystal and goes, "Poof." Just gets zapped and dissipated. So you don't have to take things personally that other people say. It's their stuff, not yours. If you have an accountability and sloughed off on something, then you can take a look at that. But you don't have to take it personally. You don't have to take that hit, take it inside, and be crushed and damage all the rest of your crystals.
So the center big one is,
The central
body,
one is the
and then
core.
this one is energy.
This is the master.
Master energy.
Master on
Master
off.
switch.
Master switch. And it's also the energetic bug zapper that will keep you from having to experience other people's.
I don't feel why I see it.
Yeah, you're toast. See, it's funny when and this is why I can't look at all of your crystals, is because when I'm focusing on one crystal, then I see everybody's left crystal. Then I see everybody's right crystal. So now I'm looking at all of your master switch crystals. Yeah, yours is gone. Actually, it's more than gone, it's toast. So you might want to clear and sweep and heal. Get the crumbs out of there. Yeah, it's shattered. Then there's another one that resides out from your third eye, and this also helps your perception. So it's not very far. It's only about this far out, right in front of your third eye. And it's little. It's a yellow one. But again, double terminated. Just make sure it's there. Make sure it's not tumbling in space. If they're tumbling in space, you're going to not feel good. Okay?
So, you actually get a hit to your head, is it affecting that crystal?
Oh, you bet. Yeah. So how does it feel? Did you get hit to the head?
I get, yeah,
And how does that
I
crystal
saw
feel?
stars.
Yeah, and these crystals will take that energetic hit. You physically took a hit, but they will energetically take a hit to help you stay. So clear and balance this.
So, I had a head injury many years ago. I've never known this before. Does that mean that's been gone for years?
Well, most of us, how can I say this? Let me say this about that.
Okay.
I've received this information over the last 10 years. I don't think before 10 years ago any of us had any of these crystals.
Wow.
I think our culture has advanced to a point where now we need them. Our stress levels are astronomical. We don't have the same kind of lifestyles that our ancestors did, and their biggest thing was finding food. And we have all kinds of stresses that we live with, and pollution and all that other stuff. And so I think now, as we are moving into this time frame, I think these have been installed for us energetically.
Okay.
So I think this is a new thing that we've just been granted
Just within the last 10 years.
within the last 10 years.
So
That's what I'm saying.
new babies coming in, do they come with them?
Yes, new babies coming in come in with them. And those of us that are here will get them when we're ready.
So it's like every.
Mm-hmm.
So we should probably pay attention to our small children too, to see if
Yeah, see
their
if-
crystals have too much.
Yeah, exactly. And assist them. So the next thing I want to share with you is how to use them to on off.
Did we do the hands?
We're not going to do the hand. These are actually behind you. These go right here behind you. Actually, where my fingertips are, they're below the fingertips, and they have to do with your past life stuff. The left one helps you retain the lessons from a past life without having to have the pain. The right one helps you draw information from a past life into this life to utilize it. So if you were a physician in a past life, you could bring that healing understanding into this life, be a healer in this life. Does that make sense? So the left one is stuff you want to leave behind. Left, it needs to be left behind. And the right one is stuff that's you can bring through into this lifetime and have the awareness without any pain, without the suffering. Comes past lives off. They don't really help with this energetic on-off switch. But it's good to be aware of them, because if you have past life issues that are affecting you in your present life, then that could affect this on-off. So just be mindful of them, and if you feel anything hinky, you know how to repair them. Okay, so we are going to, I want you to take a moment.
What was the one at third eye?
Yeah.
Perception, awareness. This is how we perceive and receive information. And here's the deal. Thank you for bringing that back up again. This third eye chakra can be programmed inadvertently by outside forces. If people tell you you see things, you're nuts, then your third eye is programmed to discount what you see and experience. So your third eye crystal, this crystal here that's for that, so to support that and get the information that you would normally perceive in your third eye and amplify it so you can get it more easily, this could have an issue. Does that make sense? Okay. I know this is big stuff. Usually I take a lot longer to do this. I'm giving you a Reader's Digest version. Because I want you to have this information. So, now, I want you just to be aware of all the crystals in your energy field. These are called your aura crystals. And the core crystal system.
Are they all generally clear, or do they, are they luminous?
Yes, they'll be lit up if they're all clear. Now I want you to breathe energy from that higher source, whatever that is for you. Breathe it through this halo crystal. Draw that energy into your heart space, and let it feed all the other crystals. Let it ramp them up, energize them, and brighten them. How's that feel? Doesn't that feel wonderful? Okay, take another deep breath in. And as you exhale, let that energy feed those crystalline structures. And one more deep breath in, and exhale. Not only now will you feel those crystals, and they will respond to you, and they will help support you as you open yourself intuitively, but they will also now be a protective shield, so that you aren't bothered by anything that you don't want to be bothered by. I don't know about you, but if I want to talk to somebody on the other side, I'll do it when I'm good and ready, not when they just walk in my house. Leave me the heck alone. I want to take a nap. I want to sleep. Or I want to fix dinner. I don't want to have somebody walking through my kitchen. So having this energetic structure of this is my space puts them on alert that they aren't welcome in your space. Because you're love and light, and you are doing other things. And when you say, I'm willing to communicate, then that opens the channels without opening you. You don't want to be so wide open that you get overwhelmed and you feel what that spirit on the other side has experienced. You don't want to have to feel that. Does that make sense? But you do want to perceive it. You want to perceive it. That's what your third eye is for, is to perceive that. That's what these crystalline structures are for, just to support you so you can perceive that information. Does that make sense? This gives you the ability to talk to people on the other side. It gives you the ability to communicate with angels, and it gives you the ability to have that intuitive information, those flashes of insight that can support you and others. Does that make sense? All right. So, on off. Breathing and acknowledging those crystals, you're on. Putting your energy back in your core, you're off. How cool is that? So take your energy and put it in all the outside crystals. And how does that feel? Feel a little open, expansive? Now bring that energy back into your core crystal. Off. neutral. You're still protected, they're still there to help you, but this gives you that on-off switch. So that if you want to pack yourself up and go to Walmart, and there's a zillion people there, you can go into any store and not feel everybody else's stuff. Make sense? So by having them and just acknowledging them, they're there to protect you. And you're fine, you're good. When you become aware of them, then you open up to new insights. And that gives you access to the spiritual realms that you really would like to have access to in a safe way, in your time and in your way. Does that make sense? That's very empowering. So any questions before we go? See, I want you to sense your own crystals now.
So can you say that again about how you turn them on and off?
Turning them on. Be aware of all that crystalline structure.
Just be aware.
Be aware. If you have to touch them, do it.
So you do this little dance before you go into Walmart.
You just think you're trying.
Yeah.
But you can do that with your awareness. And for me, you can just do a ping, and you just, what it looks like for me might not work for you, but what it looks like for me is I send an energetic surge from my head and my heart out to all the crystals at the same time. It just goes boom. And if there's nothing coming back to me, it's like radar, if nothing comes back as a, well, then I need to take a look at it. And you can do that 10 or 20 times a day. If you get, oh, you're good. If you get, you might want to take a look.
So if you encircle yourself in God's white light, love and protection, it's pretty much the same
It's
thing.
pretty much the same thing,
It's not
but
big
sometimes, especially now that we're becoming a little more advanced spiritually, we need a little more. You know, God's love and light is what we're drawing in and what's filling this space, yes. But having that crystalline structure gives us an energetic construct in which to build even more and utilize that power even more. Yes, sir.
Do you think the healing drum, the tone would indicate whether their crystals are good or bad?
Absolutely, absolutely. So let me rephrase your question. People who use drums and healing, and you'll be drumming, and all of a sudden the drum sounds flat.
Yeah.
That'll let you know that there's something amiss there. You do the same thing with a bell. You do the same thing with a tuning fork, or scan a crystal over somebody when it also doesn't want to move anymore.
Yeah.
You can do it with your hands. You can do it with your awareness, the pendulum. Yeah. Because all of those things are really an extension of you. And they are here to help your perception. So again, as you have these new crystalline structures to support you and assist you, all of those tools will be ramped up. Yes, ma'am.
So, doing this would probably be really, really helpful to do before you want to perform like healing on somebody else, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Because this helps you be intuitive with that healing process. It also helps you stay clear of their stuff. Because here's what happens, especially if you're an empath, and you know I am. And if I'm working on somebody and they have a headache, I get headaches, so man, it could trigger one if I'm not careful.
That's happening.
So by activating this beforehand, then there's no place for that energy to go. You can just be aware of that and have compassion for them without, because an empath takes the pain
Yeah.
and then we transmute it and discard it. So, but we don't usually know how to discard it, so we just take their pain, they feel better, and we feel like,
Right.
okay. So this will help keep you stable, keep you with that.
Would it be okay to use it before meditation too?
I'd use it anytime.
Okay.
And what I would do is I just ping. I just go, I'm now perceiving my aura crystals, and just open up and you'll see them and feel them all.
Okay.
And when you do that, then you got it together. And you're safe, you're comfortable, you're more empowered. Makes sense? So what I'd like for us to do now, that will conclude our discussion of the topic. If you have any other questions in your online, you can send us questions. So thank you for tuning in. Appreciate it.
That's it.